Currently, she's collaborating with Barbara Blazer, who's a nurse at Magnolia Dispensary. She's the director of clinical services, and they're collaborating to teach caregivers about the safe use and management of medical cannabis. Since 1990, she's been writing and teaching professionals about emerging healthcare technologies. She was a co-founding editor of Wired magazine and helped establish the commercial virtual reality industry. So I'm going to turn the panel over to Linda. Thank you.
So Miriam didn't even break a sweat when that mic went off. So that's a good sign for what she's selling. And Diane, where are you? That's called a party bus. It's a special kind of bus. A special kind of bus. So now you're officially on the bus. It is so very cool to be here tonight with you because we're turning the tables. We won't be using the slides so much, but if you do want to take a look over there right now, I'm going to give you an idea of what's happening tonight. It will be fast-paced, dynamic, and completely turning the tables because usually people are up here, these people, in fact, many of these people are up here explaining, educating, enlightening, giving you resources, sharing their expertise, but we're turning the tables and we're asking them, how did they get here? What was it that brought them to wanting to know and wanting to share information? If any of you want to start thinking about that, we'll have time for probably 3 stories. And then after that, we'll conclude with some tips and takeaways. So we'll just keep it moving, and I'm, again, really happy to see you. We'll hold questions for the end, except for the 2 or 3 of you who may want to share. Our speakers will come up one by one. I'll introduce them. I'll bring them up by name, and then they will introduce themselves to you. And panelists, I just want to remind you that the setup here is kind of like theater in the half round. So make sure that you look in all directions as you tell your story. And that's about it for my role today, other than to bring people up. And I'm really excited to bring up one of your neighbors and friends and someone who's inspired all of us. Please, a warm welcome to Charter Club member Beverly Kibble.
Want me to sit or just stand?
However you're comfortable.
My introduction to marijuana was from 1967 to 77. At least one of my 4 sons and daughters was enrolled at Cal. And I was in administration at USC. So from the college kids, I learned about marijuana. Should we go on into, all right. In 1975, Leo came home, diagnosed, he'd been spitting up blood.
Okay. I'm going to ask you to wait because I wanted, yeah. I would like you to complete this sentence. My name is Beverly Kibble, and I am a
firm believer in cannabis.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Have a seat, everybody.
Yay, Beverly.
We're going to get to that. Good story. Anita Matarazzo, who is the person who brings us all here today. Anita, please come on up and tell everybody your story.
Yay, Anita.
Why you are.
Hi, everyone. As I previously stated, I'm the program director and the vice president of Roscoe's Medical Marijuana Club. I'm native to New York, and in 1997, we relocated to California for the birth of our first grandchildren, twin boys who are now 22. Some of you may recall that in 1996, California passed Prop 215, the Compassionate Use Act, which legalized medical marijuana. So when I landed in California in 1997, I felt very grateful to be in a place that had access not only to my son and his growing family, but to legal access for marijuana as well. As soon as I got settled and bonded with those babies, I went and got a doctor recommendation to be able to access marijuana for all the conditions that showed up in my life. Thank you.
we bring up Dr. Paul Holland. Paul, this is